guys like the new look? I like it too. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JKT and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the HyperX Pulsefire Dart, the first wireless gaming mouse that I believe I reviewed on the channel. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at it and see if it should be the next mouse that you pick up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do it. Alright, so as always, let's go ahead and talk about the shape. Now, I'll be honest with you, this is probably my least favorite shape out of all the mice I've used so far, and I have used plenty. I am not a big fan of the pronounced hump in the back, or actually on the left side. That curve really makes it very uncomfortable to use during gameplay. And not only that, but it's also going to be heavy. Comes in at 111 grams without the cable. So it is a little bit on the heavier side, so it's not going to be as light as, say, the Razer Viper Ultimate, which comes in at about, I believe, 74 grams, I want to say. So that makes it a little bit uncomfortable, not only the fact that it's heavy, but then the fact that it does have that hump on the left side. It does seem like that for this mouse, if you have pretty big hands, then this is definitely going to be a mouse that you'll be able to hold comfortably. I have medium hands, about 18 to 9 centimeters. And for me, it was a little bit uncomfortable to hold, especially with all the weight being carried on at the back end. And there is a reason for that, which we will go ahead and discuss a little bit later. But for right now, because of the way it's shaped in the back, it did make it a little bit difficult to, say, do flick shots. So if you're a person who does a lot of flick shots, this may be something you want to go ahead and take into account if you decide to go ahead and pick up this mouse. The mouse is going to have 6 programmable buttons. So of course you have your forward and backward, you have your mouse 1 and 2, the scroll wheel, and the DPI button at the top, which by default is going to be set to 800, 1600, and 3200 DPI. But of course you can always customize that in the Ngenuity software. So if you don't like the settings that it is by default, you can go there and change it. Now, I will say that the switches on the mouse 1 and 2 are going to be really good. They are using Amaron switches, so very nice, crisp, tactile feel to it. Does have a little bit of pre-travel in there, but it didn't really affect my gameplay when I was playing Call of Duty, for example. So I wouldn't say it's truly a deal breaker, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to. The scroll wheel, though, is a little bit on the weaker side. I wasn't a big fan of the scroll wheel. It wasn't the worst scroll wheel, but definitely not the best. Probably, I would say it's definitely below average. So it wasn't very tactile, felt a little loose. So that was kind of had an issue with that. Never had an issue with it in actual gameplay, but just feeling the scroll wheel, it's not the best scroll wheel that you can get around. Speaking of games, we're going to go ahead and talk about the sensor real quick. So it is going to be using a PMW3389 sensor. Now, of course, the sensor is going to be used by a ton of other gaming mice. Still getting it wrong, even in this video. So to be very honest with you, didn't have any issues, no latency, no lag. The sensor is going to be top notch. Didn't have any issues when playing Call of Duty. Like I said, the only issue I had was the size of the mouse. So because of the size and the weight of the mouse, it really made it very difficult to kind of actually pick up the mouse or do flick shots in game. So it made my accuracy kind of, for me, feel like I was a little bit slow and sluggish. So again, something to keep in mind. If you have big hands, you'll be okay. Now, there is a reason why the mouse is so big in the back, and that is because of how it charges. So let's go ahead and get into the battery life. Now, this is where I actually give it some praise, because this mouse right here is really, really good in battery life. So if you have the LEDs turned off, that is going to give you about 90 hours of battery life, and when you have them turned on, it gives you about 50 hours of battery life. And from my experience, I was able to play for days, almost even a little bit over almost 2 weeks without having to charge the mouse, which was really, really nice. Now, there is 2 ways that you can charge it. It actually comes with a USB Type-C cable in the box, which I like that. I like the fact that you're using USB-C instead of micro USB. So hopefully we see a lot more companies do this. And you can also use key wireless charging. Yes, key wireless charging. So that's where I said it before, that in the very back, that's why it's so big, is because that's where the actual unit for the wireless charger is. So you can use any key wireless charging pad that you have. So if you have one at home, you can use that, and it should go ahead and charge up your mouse. Now, I actually don't know how long it'll actually take. I actually didn't really use this feature that much. I kind of found it a nice feature to have, but something that I didn't feel was necessary. I would have liked to maybe see how, like what the Razer Viper Ultimate did, where they actually have a dock and you can just put it on there, or even if they kind of would have included one in the box, would have been nice. Some type of wireless charger would have been nice. But in the box, of course, you're gonna get the mouse, the cable, and then you're gonna get a little adapter that allows you to plug into USB as well. So I would have honestly sacrificed that if it meant that the mouse would be a little bit more lightweight and wouldn't be so heavy on the backside, because the rest of the mouse is really, really good. I love the build. It's very sturdy. I didn't feel like the construction of it was going to break easy, and it definitely feels like it's going to hold up well. I do like the nice grips on the side, but like I said, because of the back and that hump on the back of it, or on the side, on the left side, and the weight, it really just makes this mouse just very, very difficult to use for long periods of time without feeling like that weight is really holding me back from playing my very best. So I'll probably end up sticking with the glorious Model D and not be going with this, just because, like I said, you'll know what I mean if you pick it up. Now, if you're a person that does prefer a little bit of a heavier mouse, then this is definitely not a bad one to check out, but I really can't recommend it just because of this side here. It's just really, really uncomfortable for a person who may be doing claw grip. I was able to do palm and fingertip. Palm grip seems to be the most comfortable with this type of shape. Fingertip was a little bit on the difficult side, especially if you like to hold the mouse more like this. It was a little bit difficult to kind of move the mouse around with just the fingers, like I said, because of the weight. So something to keep in mind if you are more than just a palm grip user. If you're a hybrid and you do more fingertip, again, this mouse may not be it for you. So overall, this mouse is definitely not bad. Is it going to beat, for example, the Razer Viper Ultimate? Definitely not. That mouse is in a league of its own. It's not a bad mouse whatsoever. I like the feel. Not the feel, but I like the fact that it has a sensor. The wireless charging capability is interesting, but I wouldn't say it's a necessity. Like I said, I would have liked to have had that removed in exchange for maybe making it just a little bit lighter. But it's something that I feel like you have to really, really use this mouse for a long period of time before it feels comfortable enough to be able to use it. I've used it for a couple weeks now, and even still going back to it, if I go away from it and come back, it is extremely difficult and uncomfortable to use this mouse. So unfortunately, as much as I love HyperX, some of HyperX's peripherals, this mouse is definitely one I personally can't recommend. You guys out there may be interested in this, and you can let me know if you guys like this mouse or not, but personally for me, definitely isn't going to be an entire recommendation. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure, of course, you leave a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And of course, if you want to hang out, talk with me about anything that is tech related, I stream on Twitch as well. Link will be in the description below. And until next time, guys, I will catch you guys in the next video, and stay techie.